Christian Science Bible lesson for the week of February 6th. Subject: Soul. Golden text: Psalms. The Lord is my shepherd, he restoreth my soul. Responsive reading: Psalms and Jeremiah. Unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul. Show me thy ways, O Lord, teach me thy paths. Remember not the sins of my youth, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercy, remember thou me for thy goodness' sake, O Lord. O keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning, and at noon will I pray, and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain me. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. Therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord, for wheat and for wine, and for oil, and for the young of the flock and of the herd. And their soul shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Section 1. Deuteronomy. The Lord, he is God, and there is none else beside him. Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. Job. He is in one mind, and who can turn him? And what his soul desireth, even that he doeth. Psalms. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. Acts. For in him we live and move and have our being. Science and Health. Soul is the substance, life, and intelligence of man, which is individualized, but not in matter. Soul can never reflect anything inferior to spirit. Soul or spirit signifies deity and nothing else. There is no finite soul nor spirit. Soul or spirit means only one mind, and cannot be rendered in the plural. Human thought has adulterated the meaning of the word soul through the hypothesis that soul is both an evil and a good intelligence, resident in matter. The proper use of the word soul can always be gained by substituting the word God, where the deific meaning is required. In other cases, use the word sense, and you will have the scientific signification. As used in Christian Science, soul is properly the synonym of spirit or God, but out of science, soul is identical with sense, with material sensation. Science reverses the false testimony of the physical senses, and by the reversal mortals arrive at the fundamental facts of being. The science of being reveals man as perfect, even as the Father is perfect, because the soul or mind or the spiritual man is God, the divine principle of all being, and because the real man is governed by soul instead of sense, by the law of spirit, not by the so-called laws of matter. Science will declare God a right, and Christianity will demonstrate this declaration and its divine principle, making mankind better physically, morally, and spiritually. Section 2, Ecclesiastes. Lo, this only have I found, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. Genesis. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son, make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran. Then Jacob went on his journey, and came into that land of the people of the east. Psalms. Save me, O God, for the waters are come in unto my soul. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. Draw nigh unto my soul, and redeem it. Science and health. Is man lost spiritually? No, he can only lose a sense material. It is a sense of sin, and not a sinful soul, which is lost. Evil is destroyed by the sense of good. Through false estimates of soul as dwelling in sense, and of mind as dwelling in matter, belief strays into a sense of temporary loss or absence of soul, spiritual truth. This state of error is the mortal dream of life and substance as existent in matter, and is directly opposite to the immortal reality of being. So long as we believe that soul can sin, or that immortal soul is in immortal body, we can never understand the science of being. When humanity does understand this science, it will become the law of life to man, even the higher law of soul, which prevails over material sense through harmony and immortality. Matter, sin, and mortality lose all supposed consciousness or claim to life or existence, as mortals lay off a false sense of life, substance, and intelligence. But the spiritual eternal man is not touched by these phases of mortality. Man's genuine selfhood is recognizable only in what is good and true. Man is neither self-made nor made by mortals. God created man. The thief believes that he gains something by stealing, and the hypocrite that he is hiding himself. The science of mind corrects such mistake. The truth demonstrates the falsity of error. Soul has infinite resources with which to bless mankind, and happiness would be more readily attained and would be more secure in our keeping, if sought in soul. Section 3. Lamentations. Let us search and try our ways, and turn again to the Lord. Genesis. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which saidst unto me, Return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal with thee. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand a present from Esau his brother. Proverbs. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Science and health. Every valley of sin must be exalted, and every mountain of selfishness be brought low, that the highway of our God may be prepared in science. The divine method of paying sin's wages involves unwinding one's snarls and learning from experience how to divide between sense and soul. Christian Science commands man to master the propensities, to hold hatred in abeyance with kindness, to conquer lust with chastity, revenge with charity, and to overcome deceit with honesty. The good man finally can overcome his fear of sin. This is sin's necessity to destroy itself. Immortal man demonstrates the government of God, good, in which is no power to sin. It were better to be exposed to every plague on earth than to endure the cumulative effects of a guilty conscience. The pains of sense are salutary if they wrench away false pleasurable beliefs and transplant the affections from sense to soul, where the creations of God are good, rejoicing the heart. There is moral freedom in soul. Section 4. Genesis. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Science and health. The soul-inspired patriarchs heard the voice of truth and talked with God as consciously as man talks with man. Jacob was alone, wrestling with error, struggling with a mortal sense of life, substance, and intelligence as existent in matter with its false pleasures and pains. When an angel, a message from truth and love, appeared to him and smote the sinew or strength of his error, till he saw its unreality and truth. Being thereby understood gave him spiritual strength in this Peniel of divine science. When Jacob was asked, What is thy name? He straightway answered, and then his name was changed to Israel, for as a prince had he prevailed and had power with God and with men. Then Jacob questioned his deliverer. Tell me, I pray thee, thy name? But this appellation was withheld, for the messenger was not a corporeal being, but a nameless, incorporeal impartation of divine love to man, which, to use the word of the psalmist, restored his soul, gave him the spiritual sense of being, and rebuked his material sense. The result of Jacob's struggle thus appeared. He had conquered material error with the understanding of spirit and of spiritual power. This changed the man. He was no longer called Jacob, but Israel, a prince of God, or a soldier of God, who had fought a good fight. He was to become the father of those who, through earnest striving, followed his demonstration of the power of spirit over the material senses. And the children of earth, who followed his example, were to be called the children of Israel, until the Messiah should rename them. If truth is overcoming error in your daily walk and conversation, you can finally say, I have fought a good fight. I have kept the faith, because you are a better man. If the disciple is advancing spiritually, he is striving to enter in. He constantly turns away from material sense, and he looks towards the imperishable things of spirit. Truth will at length compel us all to exchange the pleasures and pains of sense for the joys of soul. Section 5. Hebrews. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Genesis. And Jacob lifted up his eyes, and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. And he said, What meanest thou by all this drove which I met? And he said, These are to find grace in the sight of my Lord. And Esau said, I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself. And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I have seen the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me. Science and health. Man is the expression of soul. The Indians caught some glimpses of the underlying reality when they called a certain beautiful lake the smile of the Great Spirit. The substance, life, intelligence, truth, and love which constitute deity are reflected by his creation. And when we subordinate the false testimony of the corporeal senses of the facts of science, we shall see this true likeness and reflection everywhere. When it is learned that the spiritual sense and not the material conveys the impressions of mind to man, then being will be understood and found to be harmonious. Harmony is produced by its principle, is controlled by it, and abides with it. Harmony in man is as beautiful as in music, and discord is unnatural, unreal. Man is harmonious when governed by soul. Section 6. Isaiah. Thus saith the Lord, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect in whom my soul delighteth. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles, to open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and to them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. 2 Corinthians. God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. Matthew. And great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, and many others, and cast them down at Jesus' feet, and he healed them. Insomuch that the multitude wondered, when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to be whole, and lame to walk, and the blind to see, and they glorified the God of Israel. Science and health. The Christ element in the Messiah made him the way-shower, truth, and life. A demonstration of the facts of soul in Jesus' way resolves the dark visions of material sense into harmony and immortality. Knowing that soul and its attributes were forever manifested through man, the Master healed the sick, gave sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, feet to the lame, thus bringing to light the scientific action of the divine mind on human minds and bodies, and giving a better understanding of soul and salvation. As mortals reach through knowledge of Christian science a higher sense, they will seek to learn not from matter, but from the divine principle, God, how to demonstrate the Christ truth as the healing and saving power. Keep distinctly in thought that man is the offspring of God, not of man. That man is spiritual, not material. That soul is spirit, outside of matter, never in it, never giving the body life and sensation. When understanding changes the standpoints of life and intelligence from a material to a spiritual basis, we shall gain the reality of life, the control of soul over sense, and we shall perceive Christianity, or truth, and its divine principle. Like our Master, we must depart from material sense into the spiritual sense of being. Section 7. Isaiah. Sing, O ye heavens, for the Lord hath done it. Shout, ye lower parts of the earth, breaking forth into singing, ye mountains, O forest, and every tree therein. For the Lord hath redeemed Jacob and glorified himself in Israel. Ephesians. Be ye therefore followers of God, as dear children, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. And health. Children of Israel, the representatives of soul, not corporeal sense, the offspring of spirit, who, having wrestled with error, sin, and sense, are governed by divine science. Some of the ideas of God beheld as men, casting out error and healing the sick. Christ's offspring. As human thought changes from one stage to another of conscious pain and painlessness, sorrow and joy, from fear to hope, and from faith to understanding, the visible manifestation will at last be man governed by soul, not by material sense. Man is the reflection of soul.